Sideshow. Oh. Sideshow. Oh.
Piano. I love this show.
Welcome to the Sideshow. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We've got beautiful music from Tim Minchin, stand-up from Denise Scott, hot burlesque from Imogen Kelly, Claire Hooper, Flacco, the Umbilical Brothers, Tripod, and more. Plus, identical dwarves, dancing worms, and other candidates you might meet on the campaign trail. Tonight, we're proud to present part one of the Sideshow's Guide to Election 07. If you have trouble telling the difference between the small Conservative bloke with the glasses and the small Conservative bloke with the glasses, we're here to help. Kevin Rudd says the government has lost touch and grown stale and claims it's time for a new government to lose touch and grow stale. Howard says he'll force the unemployment rate below 4%. As well as part-time and casual work, watching daytime TV and sucking down bongs will now count as a job. Rudd is campaigning under the slogan, New Leadership. 6 months into office, he'll step aside for Peter Costello. Howard is promising to announce exciting new policies on national security, climate change, water and childcare during the campaign. He didn't realise you're meant to deal with these things while you're actually in office. But the big story of week one was tax. Tax. Despite his claim a few months ago that he didn't have any more rabbits in his hat, our beloved Prime Minister pulled out a $34 billion fluffy bunny full of cuts. He even had a new slogan, Go for Growth. Instead of his usual bend over and take the growth. John actually got the slogan, Go for Growth, off the cream he rubs on his head every night before he goes to bed. Wait till he finds out Go for Growth is also the motto of a group of men who prefer their women unshaven. Here's a smart idea. The US has unveiled its latest weapon for Iraq. Silly string. And why not? It's a silly war backed by a silly president with a silly exit plan. Before they go through a door, soldiers shoot the foamy string across the room. If it hangs in the air, it might have found a tripwire for a bomb. Or Harry Potter in his cloak of invisibility. Once the silly string has found the tripwire, the troops send in a set of wind-up, chattering teeth that gnaw through the wire and render it harmless. So if it hangs in the air, it indicates a tripwire. If it fizzles into thin air, it indicates the room is on fire. If it moves suddenly to the side, it indicates you sneezed. And if it makes everything go dark, you're holding it backwards. Silly string can travel up to 3.6 metres or 1.5 kilometres if you fire it from a bazooka. Silly string has been so successful, American scientists are now developing sensible string. The hard part is convincing it to go to Iraq in the first place. All right, shall we to get the Sideshow on the road, yes? Good. Our first guest is doing sell-out shows all over the world, winning awards everywhere. We're humbled to have him back on the show. Please make welcome the wonderful Mr. Tim Minchin.
He doesn't have a problem with drugs. He just doesn't get them. He's fine that his mates have tattoos, but he thinks they'll regret them. He likes going to pubs, but he hates it when the music's too loud. He tends not to go to rock concerts, 'cause he can't stand the crowds. But all he's ever wanted to be is a rock star on Rage or MTV. But he knows that it's not fucking likely. He just turned 30. He knows that he will always be a rock and roll nerd. He'll keep writing songs the world will never hear, and though they won't be heard, he'll just keep writing. Oh yeah, but you see the problem is he always dreamt of being a star, but he learned piano instead of guitar, which in the 90s didn't get you very far. So while the other kids were learning Stairway, he was the piano to their forte. But he was convinced one day he'd rock their fucking asses, be an icon for the disenfranchised masses, grow his hair long and rebel against the state. But just for now that'd have to wait, 'cause he's running late for his morning classes, and he will always be a rock and roll nerd. He'll keep playing gigs that no one knows about, and though it sounds absurd, he'll just keep playing. Oh yeah, but you see the problem is there's not much depth in what he's singing. He's a victim of his upper middle class upbringing, so he can't write about the hood or bling bling. So he sits and imagines his girlfriend is dead, to try and evoke some angst in his middle class head. But the bitch is always fine at 9:30 when they go to bed. And he's not spent a single night in prison. He has no issues with nutrition. He has no drinking problem and no drug addiction, unless you count the drugs they put in chicken. And marijuana always tends to make him cough. He doesn't look good with his t-shirt off, and when he tries to act tough, you can tell he's tricking. Will go out late, popping pills and having fun. He goes home and showers and gets a good 8 hours. He gets his thrills from his morning run, and while his mates will go on dates, taking speed and drinking cans of Jim Beam, he stays home and cooks, curls up with the book with the girl he's had since he was 17. 'Cause he's never really been part of the scene. Give him Guns N' Roses, he'll take Queen. He's more into Beatles than the Stones. He's more of Stevie Wonder than Ramones. And he's never owned a panel van. He never shot a Pantera band. He doesn't know the difference between metal and thrash. He couldn't tell you nothing about Axl and Slash. He likes Ben Folds and the Jackson 5. He knows all the words to Stayin' Alive. And though he wants to be all crunchy and cool, he spent 11 years at a private school. So it don't matter how he tries, he cannot hide behind his rock and roll lies. 'Cause you've either got it or you don't. Yeah, you'll either rock it or you won't. You've either got it or you don't. Rock it or you won't. You've either got it or you don't. He knows that his music lacks depth, but it just can't be helped. He has nothing interesting to say, so he writes about himself. But he doesn't want to seem self-obsessed, so he writes in third person. In an attempt to seem more rock and roll, but he suspects it's not working. And deep in his heart he knows that he'll never be Silverchair or Eskimo Joe. And even if he was quite pretty with small pants like Kylie, he knows that he will always be a rock and roll nerd. He'll keep writing songs the world don't care about. Though it sounds absurd, he'll just keep writing. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You can criticize him, but he won't care, 'cause he wants to rock, and he will never be deterred. But he'll always be a fucked up little try-hard wannabe rock and roll nerd. Rock and roll nerd.
Very much.
The amazing Tim Minchin. Tim Minchin. Tim,
Yeah. Hi, Paul.
they love you.
Thanks for coming.
I believe that you are just back in Australia for a short time.
7 days.
7 days.
This is the third one. That's the blurry look.
Well, we're very grateful you've spent some time with us. Where are you off to next?
Back to London where I live, and then
You live there.
Yeah, I live there.
What's that like?
It's like here but bigger.
Grey? Is it greyer?
Yeah, there's some greyness.
Yeah.
It's fine though because it's where my house is, so it's good because it keeps the grey off my head. It's good. And then I'm living, doing some stuff, going to America, and then coming back here for a bit over summer.
Right. And you have a new DVD coming out?
I have a
believe?
DVD coming out. Yeah, it's called So Live.
So live.
Because it so is, and it's made it at the Opera House, and I think it's all right. It's good. Yeah, get it. It's cool.
And what are the menus like on it?
Menus are good.
I love a DVD menu. That's my favourite part of the whole DVD.
Totally. It's good. It's in the case of my DVD, it's like an itemised sort of list of the stuff that's is in the disc itself.
See that? Yeah, that's the fine stuff.
In that way, it's reminiscent of an Asian restaurant or any other DVD.
Ladies and gentlemen, can you please thank Tim Minchin?
Yeah, good on you, mate. It's green, Grandpa. Let's go. Come on. It's not that difficult.
New moves in intelligent design. Number 92945. Why God didn't design using toxic model glue.
don't eat pig.
You want some bacon? Sure, let's go.
Cameron Bruce and the Bearded Ladies. Before we go on, I've got some announcements. The Prime Minister has an important message for Indigenous Australia. He'd like to say sorry. Sorry you're not white! To celebrate 80 years of aeroplane jelly, we're going to visit the little boy who sang the original jingle. I like it for dinner, I like it for tea. A little each day is a good recipe. He's now 400 kilos and suffers from diabetes. Ladies and gentlemen, can you please make her welcome a living legend of Australian comedy, Denise Scott.
Legend. Thanks, Paul. No, I have reached that stage in my life, you know, where my eyesight's going, which is a real bugger. Do you know how hard it is having to tweezer the hairs on your chin using Braille? You know, and these days, this is true, I can be reading a book, because I love reading books. You know, I can be reading, I can be loving it, really enjoying it. You know, I can't wait to find out what happens next. And I can be up to, I don't know, page 384, and I'll think to myself, I think I might have read this book before. Could have only been last month, wouldn't have a clue, you know. Oh, and you know, and I'm definitely hormonal. I've put on quite a lot of weight too. This whole hormonal thing, you put on weight, especially in the breasts. I can't believe. Thank you for being all quiet and all that serious. But it's a real bug. It's a real bug. I don't know why I'm holding them like you're so young. You don't know what breasts would be. But big breasts, bugger. You can't get a top to fit. And like once I went to the Myer evening wear department, right? I had to get a dress that day, had to, and I ended up buying the only dress in the place I could actually zip up, even though my breasts were squashed so flat they had actually wrapped right around my body, and the nipples met up in the middle of my... Like a bit of sexy work. I left Myer, convinced my breasts now qualified me for a disabled parking sticker. And it's funny I should talk about my breasts because my eldest child, he's 23, son, Muso, cool, still at home and poor. But anyway, that's beside the point. He begged me not to talk about my large breasts on national television. He said it embarrassed him. So, anyway, but the thing is, he said, and this is true, he said, Mum, I don't understand why you've got to put yourself down. I don't understand why you have to be so self-deprecating. Why can't you be proud of yourself? And I said, that is what gives me the shits about kids born in the 80s. All this self-esteem crap. Oh, my God, no, give me the days when you could run around the paddocks, full of self-loathing, hating your own guts. Nobody gave a shit. It was perfectly normal behaviour. We didn't have Oprah or Dr. Phil crapping on about how to love yourself, even though you're as fat and ugly and dumb as a huge steaming turd plopped fresh from a cow's ass. Is what I said to my 23-year-old son. And I said, I suppose that cow's ass speech embarrassed you too, did it? And he said, well, not when you did it here, but when you did it at my Year 10 careers night. Yes, it did. The other thing about getting older, being 50s, you've got to have the most hideous regular health checkups. Of course, you've still got to have your regular pap smear. You've got to, don't you? You've got to have it. If you don't, you get a letter from the government. Has anyone else here got the letter from the... I got one last week. It said, Dear Denise, it's come to our attention you haven't had a pap smear recently. I wrote back, I said, Dear John Howard, of course I haven't. Have you ever had one? thing is, when you do get anything, you have to have your mammogram, you know, to check for breast cancer. And, of course, guys, you've got to have your prostate checked. And, look, for guys whinging about having a finger stuck up your ass, try having your big fat breast squashed between a press until it looks like an A4 piece of paper. All right, A3. Oh, give me the finger any day. But then again, you always want what you can't have. Thank you very much. Thanks, guys. Lovely audience.
Denise Scott, ladies and gentlemen, Denise Scott.
Thank you.
I have another announcement. Tomorrow night's election debate will definitely go ahead, but John Howard is still trying to bury the worm, which Jeanette has described as mildly satisfying. Here they are, the Dungeons and Dragons of deconstruction, Tripod.
This song is about something that happened to me when we used to be on TV. We're on TV. ABC. Being on television is a dream come true. You get to play dress-ups all day long. Tootsie Zoo. You get to be a superhero. You get to be a singer in a band. But it's not quite perfect living in TV land, 'cause my stuntman is a woman. Oh shit, this actually happened. Out of the entire stunt community, a woman was the one who had the closest body shape to me. When all the action starts, I just sit and stew, 'cause they get a girl to do the things that I'm too wussy to do. My stuntman is a woman. My stuntman is a woman.
And the stunts they get her to do aren't even that stunty.
If he needs a stand on a box, it's a bit affronty. There was this one scene where I get hit by a truck, but they didn't even use her. They used a dummy of a woman. This situation was not part of my plan. She soaks up all the glory while I sit alone in the van. 'Cause it takes a woman to make me look like a man.
Tripod, Jon Gatesy Scott with members of the band. Tripod. A little bit of news just to hand. Kate Moss would like to announce that her relationship with Pete Doherty is definitely over. She's now engaged to a new man, Ben Cousins. Our next guest got a few pulses racing last time she was here by hanging from the ceiling and doing some erotic acrobatics. She's just returned from the Burlesque Spectacular in the US. Please make her welcome the queen of the hot guillotine, Imogen Kelly.
have a poem for you. It is historical, it is socio-political, and it is anatomical. Maestro. They always said such cruel things about me. I feel my body still turn in its grave. And through the walls of hell, I can hear the peasants yell for my blood on the guillotine's blade. Ow. But when they came to cut off my head, my just deserved to take. They said, "Oh, madame, the peasants have no bread." And I said, "Oh, let them eat cake."
Ladies and gentlemen, Imogen Kelly. How about that? Take home nice and warm. There you go. Beautiful.
Such a bad queen.
Yeah, interesting. Look at that little dollop of cream I managed to have on myself. That's fantastic.
Souvenir.
How are you? You look great.
Oh, why, thank you very much. I'm fantastic.
Yeah. And where have you just come back from?
I've just come back from San Francisco and New York.
And this was at the what?
Well, there was the New York Burlesque Festival.
And what goes on at the New York Burlesque Festival?
The refreshing thing about New York is you had some stuff that was completely... It was a lot like Australian stuff. It really turned the whole genre on its head.
Right.
And was sort of just going, well, you weren't pretty? Is that pretty enough? It was really, really refreshing. And I felt very at home. Yes.
All right. It was fascinating to watch people's faces out there tonight too, because I think they're quite used to more standard forms of humour. And
what are you saying?
Gobsmacked there. Gobsmacked, I would say, especially the children. What a fantastic career opportunity for them that you're offering.
I said it was anatomical. I didn't lie. It was educational, you know.
Yeah, educational, anatomical, and absolutely wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, please thank Imogen Kelly. As well. Can you please make him welcome? A great man, the wonder of Tim Minchin, ladies and gentlemen. Tim Minchin.
Something that people don't necessarily know I do is write poetry, and I'd like to give one a bash. It's mostly, I mostly write it for sort of therapy, get my feelings off my chest. Anyway, this is a poem about anger. It's called Angry, or in brackets, feet. Sometimes I get a bit angry, but you couldn't tell. No, you couldn't tell unless you looked real closely. Sometimes I get a bit angry, but it's all right. Yes, it's all right, because I keep it out of sight, inside, deep inside. I breastfed till I was 9. Breastfed till I was 9. Till I was 9. Which my doctor says is fine. And he also says I'd deal with anger better if I wrote about myself in a poem or a letter. My mother was a stupid bitch! Caring lady. She taught me all I know, although I was a little slow. She never gave up. She never let me slut down. Although she spent a lot of time at the neighbour's house when my dad was out of town. I didn't walk till I was 7 or talk till I was 10, but neither did Napoleon, according to my doctor, who has certificates in frames to substantiate his dodgy fucking claims. My father left my mother for the love of a poontang! Another. And I have a bastard brother who I've never really known because my dad moved up to Queensland and he doesn't have a bullshit, you fat fuck. Telephone. In primary school, I had trouble making ashtrays. friends. An issue which has become somewhat of a trend, the origin of which I cannot pretend does not perplex me, although my fucking doctor says it's cool and that loads of fat bring... Shut up, I'm not fat! Kids at school have problems with communication, and that a course of medication would be wise, and combined with more honest self-expression could help me with my issues with emotional repression. And at $180 a session, I think I'll take the thieving bastard chap's advice. So, I quite like porn, photography, and books on guns. History, and I'd like to be a politician. Vet. And I feel as I get older, I'm more in control of my violent tendencies, and when I die... I'll have no regrets. And I feel that all this writing is really puffy, exciting, and my doctor would be proud because I feel a lot less angry and I'm saying stuff out loud and I'm letting anger out. Like today in our last session when I taught the a lesson, because he said I'm not progressing, said I wasn't moving forward, so I said, well, let's see how you move without your fucking legs. And I tied him to his chair and I pulled out my machete and I listened to him beg and then I cut his fucking feet off. And while he lay there bleeding, I used his feet to kick him in the head. Thank you very much.
Minchin! Did you love him? You loved him. And now, because you demanded we give you fair warning, Claire Hooper.
I'm pretty excited.
You're excited? Why?
Oh, because I'm bringing you an actual, viable, brilliant idea this week, rather than just, you know, cockamamie inventions.
Okay.
Yeah.
See it!
Well, I ask you this, Paul. When you get a takeaway coffee from a cafe, is it okay to go back later when you need the toilet and use their bathroom? Yeah, because you feel a bit... You feel a bit rude, but it would be nice to go in, you know, be able to go in and just go, hello, I don't know if you remember me. I was in here before and I left something behind. Well, no, I forgot to leave something behind. Get in there. But a few days ago, I bought a takeaway coffee quite early in the morning before the shops were open, so I was pretty much...
How do you buy a takeaway coffee before the shops? Oh, is that the invention?
It's when the cafes are open, when the shops are not open. So I thought I could just wait it out. And
Was that waited out or weighed it out? Gone to a very grotesque place in my mind. Don't join me.
No. Public toilets are a bit like that, though, aren't they?
And filled with junkies.
A little bit gumbooty. But I'm wandering around just pretending I'm fine, keeping an eye out for a bathroom. And I saw this adorable little golden dog, and I did that thing that you sometimes do when you see a dog, which is I made a sudden, loud, involuntary vocal response to it.
Right.
Oh, and you don't even mean to, it just comes out. What was this adorable dog doing, I wonder? Was it sunbaking? Was it yawning? No, it was straightening up under a palm tree after dropping some friends off. That's right, I made a jealous noise watching a dog open the pod bay doors. I went into the bakery across the street. I turned to go, who should be at the door of the bakery poking his little golden nose in? But the friend from before got excited and went, you're the dog that did the poo! But I heard a voice behind me that went, what did you say? And I turned around, and it must be the owner because it's this nice older man looking really affronted. So I tried to appease the man because I personally believe that conflict does not belong in a place of baked goods. So I went, no, I was not accusing your dog. I just... And then I was quite proud of myself because I managed to not say, I was just overwhelmed with jealousy as I watched your dog downloading some brownware over there. You know, so I was pretty proud of myself. So I just kind of lamely went, I was just making conversation. Which makes me realise I need some better conversation started. But it's when I had the brilliant idea, like this great invention. I got it from that dog. And I'm going to name it something that you would name because I plan to advertise it on late night infomercials, so it needs an appropriate name. So I'm calling it Can't Find a Toilet? That's its name. I've got it behind the desk. Would you'd like to see it, wouldn't you?
I want to see the invention. If you've got an invention, let's crank it out. Let's get it here.
It's just down here.
Yes. And now we'll wait for the invention, ladies and gentlemen. It's only a couple of minutes away. I'm sure the invention... Oh, interesting. Oh, it's always what a fascinating night. Oh, there we go. Oh. Suddenly I find you very sexually attractive.
I'll never struggle to find a place to go again.
You look fantastic. I want to hug you. Look at that little...
No. Have you got your bit, the plastic bag?
Oh, I haven't got a plastic bag. Come on, give me a plastic... Whoa. Wait a second. That was neat. Yes, I've got my little help.
You actually have got a plastic bag?
I have got a plastic bag.
That's unfortunate because I didn't actually want to demonstrate.
You are gorgeous tonight. Oh, no. Get out of it. Get out of it. Get out of it. Get out of it. Ladies and gentlemen, Claire Hooper is in there. Oh. I love it. We should do a children's show. Children's show.
Bum for you, sir?
Tonight, I'd like to light a little shed on the subject of alien abduction. You see, I abducted an alien once. I caught the little bugger carving crop circles in my front lawn. Get out of it, you little green mongrel! Get out of it! After abducting the alien, I presume the correct procedure would be to take it to my leader. But John Howard showed no interest in this amorphous lump of green bulbous slime, yet quite paradoxically has Alexander Downer on the front bench. Explain that. Now, I presume the next step would be to mate with the alien before releasing it. Therefore, seeding the universe with my kind. And after making mad, passionate love to an area just left of its antennae, I release the alien into its natural habitat. That is the imaginations of conspiracy theorists who hold symposia where for just $90 a head, you too can watch your common sense disappear mysteriously before your very eyes. It's a cool world.
Hey.
Oh.
That's...
What the... That's...
Oh, yeah, that's good. Oh, yeah,
oh my
baby.
God.
Oh, yeah.
Where's the strawberry?
for you.
Is it over?
I got the ping pong balls to do yet. Come back. Nobody appreciates art these days.
Here they are, the one with the shaved head, the one with the curly hair, and the one only they can see, the Umbilical Brothers.
Last week, as you recall, the Umbilical Brothers were engaged in a highly dangerous horse race that took them to the very precipice of their imaginations. Now, the disappointing conclusion, too. The Umbilical Brothers in peril.
I can't hold on much longer!
I can't hold this freeze frame much longer! Oh, that was disappointing.
Very disappointing.
This is very close to the floor here.
Okay, well, what do we do now?
That's pretty much it, really.
Yeah. You got anything?
No.
No.
It's a sturdy floor, though.
Very,
isn't it?
very sturdy floor. Lucky. Yes. No, you're right. No, mate. You hear that? What is that?
I think it's our imaginations cracking.
I hope this looks like we're falling!
Otherwise, we're going to look like dicks. What's it?
Rocks!
Rocks. Water!
My horse! Where's your horse?
I think they get it, Dave. Okay. You're standing on my foot.
I wasn't ready.
You're just not practicing, man.
No, I'm not
You
practicing.
got to practice, right?
I'm certainly not practicing.
Just practice, you'll be able to do it. See, I can do it. See, you can do it. You can do it. The horse can do it. Easy peasy. Listen, I don't want you laughing at me, okay? I don't want any imaginary horses laughing at me. Job. Woo boy. Like a remote.
Yeah!
Oh, there, Nelly.
Yeah, I'm with Shane. I don't want any imaginary horses laughing at me, so I'm going to be careful. Yeah. I was very polite if you could not laugh at me. Oh, yeah.
The Umbilical Brothers! And the horses that rode in on the Umbilical Brothers! Don't forget abc.net.au/sideshow if you'd like to watch good bits again, like last week's beautiful song from Tripod and Eddie Perfect, gorgeous, or book some tickets for our studio audience. Trust me, at home, you don't see everything. And if you're down the front tonight, you certainly saw everything. Well, that's about it. But before we go, a quick look at next week's small screen sideshow. In a bid to beat armed robbery charges, O.J. Simpson will claim he couldn't have done it because at the time he was stabbing a guy 2 suburbs away. On Thursday, it's a very special event called Trees for Children, one of the only swap your kid for a sapling programs in the world. Britney Spears will try to get well by meeting with a Native American shaman who'll chant a mantra and perform a special dance around her. She'll respond by lip-syncing a mantra and forgetting a special dance around him. And the annual Teddy Bears picnic will take an unexpected turn when the woods they go down to are in Belangolo State Forest. Thank you.
Greatest little show on the greatest little show. 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 Greatest little show on TV. Better than being there.
Sideshow would like to reach out and touch you personally. All you have to do is phone 0293834741 after 9 a.m. on Monday, or send an email to audience@gnwtv.com.au. Come to the Sideshow. Come on down and feel the love.
This show was brought to you by...
The fucking nerve.
Yummy.